What's up, YouTube? In today's video, I'm going to be reacting to how good was Samuel Eto'o, actually. This is a video by Raymar Football. He makes great football content. And also, I am doing these reactions live. So I'm over here on Twitch. I'm going to start doing this a little more often. If you want to come check these things out live, it'd be a lot of fun to hang out on Twitch. https://Luke Sports Academy. Wait, no, twitch.tv/Luke Sports Academy, whatever. The link should be in the description of this video. Let's get into it.
That have had the chance to play for Barcelona in the 2000s, there was one striker in particular who would always deliver goals when they were needed most. A man who, along with his team, helped groom a young Lionel Messi for success. But it seems like he's been a bit forgotten over the years, so we're here to remember his talent. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Raymar back again for another video, and today we're gonna look at how good was Samuel Eto'o. But before we start, I just want to apologize for my voice right now because I'm pretty sick, so I hope you guys don't mind too much, and make sure you take your vitamins so you don't end up like me. Let's get started.
That sucks. Sucks to be a content creator when you're sick. I can relate, because you got to get that content out. You got to be on the grind, but also take care of yourself.
As a 16-year-old, Samuel Eto'o would move to Real Madrid to begin his career training under their youth academy. But he was only allowed to train with Real Madrid B because he was still a minor, and since Real Madrid B were relegated to the third-tier Segunda Division B, where non-European players weren't allowed to play, he would go through several loan spells before finally being signed with Mallorca in 2000. There, he would finally get some stable playing time and solidify his position in the starting lineup. You could say that Samuel Eto'o was kind of a late bloomer because it did take him a few years to really start being recognized for his skills. As you could see, his performances weren't too good, and he would also go a couple of seasons with barely any playing time before Mallorca decided to pick him up. In his first year with Mallorca, he would score 6 goals in 19 appearances, which isn't really bad for a 19-year-old, but at the same time wasn't necessarily anything you would consider amazing. But still, that first year loan with Mallorca was enough to convince them to sign him as a permanent player from Real Madrid. His second year was definitely an improvement, as he would score 13 goals and have 3 assists in 33 appearances. Wow. Mallorca became a very positive environment for Eto'o, as his club president Matteo Alemany said, "I doubt if there's any other player in the world who would please the fans more." Eto'o himself even said, "I like it here in Mallorca. I've always been well looked after and the fans appreciate me." Also, guys, keep in mind that a player's environment is very important towards their success, as we'll touch back on this later on. Eto'o stayed with Mallorca until 2004, where he would score 165 goals in 70 appearances.
165 goals in 70 appearances. I'm glad he clarified that at the bottom. That's called GOAT right there. If you can score 165 goals in 70 appearances, you are goated.
Being the club's all-time leading goal scorer. But his club wasn't really successful, as they would only claim one piece of silverware title, in which he would score 2 goals in the final. In 2004, Eto'o's contract with Mallorca was coming to an end, and of course, he was a high-priority target for many big clubs, specifically Barcelona and Real Madrid. Now, before we move on to his days with Barcelona, which is where I'm sure almost all of you guys really remember him from, just know that Papa Florentino Perez over at Madrid was going on an absolute war against Barca to try and sign Eto'o, which I find pretty funny because he used to be in Real Madrid, but they just never gave him a chance, and now they really wanted him. So Eto'o would end up signing with Barcelona, as he felt he would have a better environment there and already had a grudge towards Madrid, even though they were willing to pay him a lot more. In his first year with Barcelona, they would win the La Liga title, and he would score an impressive 29 goals in 45 appearances with a goal-scoring ratio of 0.65 goals a game. And fun fact, during Barcelona's end-of-season championship celebration, Eto'o was fined 12,000 euros for singing with the fans, saying, "Madrid, back. Salute the champions." So yeah, the man really didn't like...
So he was a man of the people. He liked to be involved with the fans and their songs, and well, that's cool. Also, I guess it is finable to sing a song like that. That's funny.
Real Madrid. And with that song, Eto'o would truly begin his legendary career. Eto'o's second season with Barcelona would be the best performance of his career. He would score a monstrous 34 goals and have 10 assists in 47 games, winning the La Liga Golden Boot and helping his club win almost every title there was.
See, there's some names on this list that I need to check out in more reactions. Samuel Eto'o, obviously I'm doing that one currently. David Villa is a name that I've got to check out for Valencia. He's a Spanish player. I know Ronaldinho. I know Ronaldo. I've done reactions there. Riquelme. I've been told by some Argentine fans that I absolutely need to check out Riquelme. I think that's how you say his name. Fernando Torres. Yeah, so there's some names even here that I don't know many of these. I don't know Milito either. So, I mean, there's so much footballing talent to catch up to now. Torres, Chad over here on Twitch is telling me Torres was pretty decent. Awesome.
They won the La Liga title, the Spanish Super Cup, and the Champions League title, in which he also scored in the final, ultimately completing the treble. But as we all know, 2005 was the year of his teammate Ronaldinho, as he was the Ballon d'Or winner for that year, while Eto'o ended up in 10th place, which is a bit sad as he was voted UEFA's best forward of the year, was placed in his second consecutive FIFA World 11, and won a historic third consecutive African Player of the Year award.
Nice.
In the 2006-2007 season, Eto'o would have his worst season for Barcelona, scoring 13 goals in 28 games, which isn't even bad at all, and would be considered great for any other player but decent by Eto'o's standards. The sad part was that in the beginning of the season, Eto'o suffered a ruptured meniscus on his right leg, which kept him out for a few months. In the 2007-2008 season, Eto'o would again miss out on a lot of games after re-aggravating his meniscus injury. But despite that, he still played really well for the amount of time he had on the pitch, scoring 18 goals and getting 4 assists in 28 games. And interestingly enough, he would score a hat-trick in just 23 minutes, which is the fastest by any Barcelona player in history.
A little reminiscent of the old Lewandowski there.
And just 2 games later, he would score 4 goals in a single half against Real Valladolid, which is absolutely ridiculous. Finally, in the 2008-2009 season, on his last year with Barcelona, Eto'o would have his highest scoring season for the club with 36 goals and 9 assists in 52 games. Barcelona would win the league title, the Copa del Rey title, and the Champions League title, where he would again score in the final against Manchester United, winning his second treble with the club. All in all, with Barcelona, Eto'o would score an amazing 130 goals in 199 appearances, having a goal-scoring ratio of 0.65 goals a game throughout those 5 years. Throughout that half-decade that he played for Barca, Eto'o would also lead his club in scoring for 4 out of the 5 years that he played, only being outperformed by Ronaldinho in 2006, which was the year that he got injured. And if you're wondering why he ever left Barca, we could never really know what exactly was going on behind the scenes, but a lot of it had to do with his relationship with coach Pep Guardiola, because they were only together for that last 2.
You're telling me that someone didn't like Pep's what are we talking about? His meticulous control over every aspect of football and the game. It's just not for everybody to play underneath that kind of system, in my mind. You have to be very willing to be a cog in the machine, and so it's not surprising that a class player like this would have trouble underneath Pep.
2008,
if that in fact is the case. I mean, he is speculating here.
2009 season, and they had major success, but it was rumored that they never really had the best relationship. Another huge factor was probably Zlatan Ibrahimovic, as Barcelona and Inter Milan were involved in a trade in which Inter would send Zlatan to Barcelona while Barcelona would go ahead and send Eto'o to Inter Milan. So in 2009, Samuel Eto'o would move on to Italy, where he would also have a legendary career playing for Inter Milan.
So I didn't know that Zlatan played for Barca. Did they just say that he played for Inter as well? I thought he played for Milan, for AC Milan. I didn't know that he played for...
While Barcelona would go ahead and send Eto'o to Inter Milan. So in 2000, in a trade in which Inter would send Zlatan to Barcelona while Barcelona would go ahead and send Eto'o to Inter Milan. So
you're telling me Zlatan's played for like every club in the world at this point.
in 2009, Samuel Eto'o would move on to Italy, where he would also have a legendary career playing for Inter Milan. In his first year, he would have 16 goals and 9 assists in 48 games, which wasn't the best by Eto'o standards, but was still good, and his team would go on to win the Serie A title, the Italian Super Cup, and the Champions League title, making Samuel Eto'o the only player in history to win 2 consecutive trebles with 2 different clubs. In the 2010-2011 season, Eto'o would have another monster year with 37 goals and 15 assists in 53 games, making it the highest goal-scoring season of his career. Eto'o would also be Serie A's top goal scorer, and his club would again win the league title, the Italian Super Cup, and the FIFA Club World Cup. After having such success with Inter, the media started to make this sort of narrative that compared Eto'o to Zlatan, as they were involved with that trade a couple of years back. And I guess Eto'o kind of took it a bit personally because he felt like he had something to prove. He would go on to say, "I'm Samuel Eto'o and I don't want to compare myself to anyone. I believe the victories I've earned up to now can contribute to giving the right value to my name." With Inter Milan, Eto'o would score 53 goals in 102 appearances, scoring just a bit under .52 goals a game. I personally consider this last year with Inter Milan to be Eto'o's end of his prime because he would be turning 31 years old and was headed to the Russian Premier League to play for Anzi Makhachkala. And I hope you guys don't roast me on the comment section for completely butchering that pronunciation, because I normally get called out for all the bad pronunciation.
Oh yeah, oh, you're the only one, huh? Us Americans getting involved in the beautiful game. Wait, one thing is awesome about it is we're getting involved in the beautiful game. The thing that's not so awesome about it is we act like Americans sometimes.
Pronunciation I have. Kind of going off topic right there, but yeah, in the 3 years he spent with the club, he would score 36 goals in 73 appearances, which is averaging just under .50 goals a game, or scoring 1 goal almost every other game he played. After that, he'd have a couple of seasons in the Premier League playing for Chelsea and Everton, where he did play well but clearly was not the same player as he'd gotten much older. Eto'o would then bounce around different teams playing in Italy and Turkey before finally signing with Qatar SC in the Qatar League, which, fun fact, is also the same league where footballing legend Xavi is still playing. So no, surprisingly enough, Eto'o isn't retired, which is pretty crazy since he...
This was 5 years ago. Xavi is not playing in the Qatari League.
He's still playing professionally at the age of 37, which just goes to show you how much passion and love Eto'o still has for the game of football. In his entire career so far, Eto'o would score 356 goals in 730 appearances, averaging .49 goals a game throughout those 21 years of playing. Eto'o is also widely considered to be one of, if not the greatest African player ever. He won the African Footballer of the Year a record 4 times, is the African League of Nations all-time goal scorer, and his country of Cameroon's all-time goal scorer as well. So I'm sure we'll all miss him when he finally does decide to retire, as he really did have a legendary career. So that's pretty much the end of the video. Sorry it took a while to upload this. I just recovered from
Samuel Eto'o. So he's a Cameroon legend, had a good career, very, very solid career. Some folks were telling me that he was one of the fastest forwards, and that'd be something actually interesting to look up. that he was very, very fast as a forward. And somebody in the chat saying that he might be slightly better than Drogba, which that's another name that I need to check out. World-class player here. Good to finally check out Samuel Eto'o on the channel. And if there are even any better videos, actually, there's a video right here by Raymar. Samuel Eto'o versus Didier Drogba, who is Africa's greatest player. Very fascinating stuff. If you like this video, go ahead and smash like on it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.